Welcome everyone. Today we have very exciting Righteous Fire Elephant Summoner build. Looking behind me, this is a tier 16 map fully modded with corruption, and let's have a look at the progress through the map. Now, I have been spending the past week maxing, theory crafting, building, and also adjusting for the build, and the build has a boss variant and also a mapping variant. So what you're looking at over here is I have switched onto a mapping variant, which deals a little less damage, but it is tremendously powerful that melts everything on the map on a tier 16 map. Of course, we will be showcasing demonstrations of Uber boss fights, bridges, and any content. This build works wonderfully. You can see any monster, rares, magic, normal monsters are melting within seconds, within 1 second, that is one. It is amazing. So this is the first time I tried the Elephant Summoner with the Righteous Fire build, and I have wanted to try this for many seasons, and it is a great opportunity to try this one with an Oracle. So yes, you might have seen this particular version as a Lich, as a Ritualist. I want to show my version as an Oracle with Mega Max and also adjusting the build. Now, how does the build work? I can get my Summon Companion or the Tame Beast to rank 38 or even rank 40 for massive boost of maximum health. And with Infernal Legion, 25% of the elephant's maximum life goes into fire damage AoE that burns down enemies within seconds. We're doing about 5 million to 10 million DPS a second, which I'll show you guys as a Uber boss fight. So we can even do higher damage, but I didn't even get the best elephant. Now, we're taming an elephant with up to 5 or even higher modifiers that can roll into tons of AoE damage, additional damage, and also additional auras, as I'll show you guys how to tame the elephant. Now, as you map through the map, you also have the elephant tech, which you're swapping and also switch out of weapon 1 and also weapon 2 to teleport your minions right on top of you. And because your elephant has such a wide radius because it's massive size and also AoE clear, everything that faces you are melting within seconds. We have some very interesting defensive tech as well. You can see I'm not really losing life, mana, or anything because I have Mind Over Matter together with a unique potion that provides me with a 1000 guard. So majority of the time I have guard, life, and also mana as a defensive capacity. The build can be managed in about 5 to 10 divine setup. It can go further, of course, if you want to Mega Max, but it is not needed. Here is a boss fight. So this is without the damaging variant. This is a mapping variant with the magnified effect over here. And if I was going to go to a damage variant, it goes even stronger. So you can see during the testing, I was rank 38. I'll show you guys how to get to rank 40 with your elephant. Now, let's look into some more demonstrations. I have tested a lot and spending hours and also days trying to catch the right elephant. So here we have a bridge, highest level of bridge, and I want to show you guys how good the build is in bridge. Usually when the monster spawns, your units will take a second to react, and unit AI and also minion AI isn't great. But with the elephant, I'm literally summoning the elephant on top of the bridge monster that spawns. And they're dying. They're dying so fast. It is amazing. This is actually one of the fastest minion clears for me for the bridge. So as long as I run forward, the elephant will trample them down, literally melting anything comes into your path. Now, during this time, let's briefly talk about how the interaction works. We have Infernal Legion that deals maximum life as burning damage, will greatly enhance our magnitude and also damage in terms of fire damage. Extra damage as chaos damage is welcome for the elephant. And we have Feeding Frenzy and also additional minions for the master more damage effect. Now, greatest thing about this build is that you are stacking multiple damage multipliers. Minion damage, minion life, companion damage, companion life. So you have 4 different damaging modifiers you can be finding on your gears, your jewels, and also your passives. And as an Oracle, you also open up new avenues to deal additional chaos damage from percentage of elemental damage, and this gives us even higher damage. Now, this is designed to be a hands-free build because you can see 90% of the time I'm not pressing any skills. I can be pressing or drinking my potions, but it's not really needed. So 90% of the time, guys, you're just running around with the elephant. You do want to weapon swap occasionally to get the elephant on top of you, but you can avoid that as well. And if you want to buff yourself, so let's skip forward a little bit. You can see I'll come to the boss, adjust my loot filter. So as for the boss, I'll be putting on Feeding Frenzy, which gives us even more damage. And that is the adjustment for the boss. So coming over to the boss, I have made the build much simpler without the needing of additional spells. So we're just casting a curse on the ground, and then we're casting Pain Offering, and then that's it. So this boss, we're pretty much doing 5 million to 10 million DPS per second. Now, it is not maximized because I did not set up my second weapon swap. I did not get the strongest elephant, potentially doing 10 million DPS if we had a stronger elephant. But you can see it is pretty much 5 million DPS, and the boss died within 2 to 3 seconds. So very, very exciting. And yes, please do stay to the end of the video, or if you don't want to use a builder's guide, everything will be available for you to have a look at the live demonstration of this particular setup. You can see all the passives, all the juice that was used during this recording, and I do plan to make the elephants even stronger. Now, you may be wondering, how do you get to your elephant to rank 40? You can be getting your elephant to rank 40, which I go through the gems, with additional supports like Dallas Desire and also Minion Mastery. And this pushes your elephant's health over 250,000 health, and this translates into massive damage. Now, there's no need to push for that high. I think to optimize the damage setup, we may be going with a more AoE just for map clear, and we might be going with more flame magnitude. You can also go with Feeding Frenzy against the boss, so there's tons of choices should you not have a particular support gem, especially the support gem that will cost 5, 10 or even 20 divine. So now that we talk about the setup, we also have some more replays which I'll show you guys, and also how to catch your elephant. Let's come over to the skill setup, then we talk about how to catch your first elephant. The biggest link over here is going to be your elephant. It is combined with the centerpiece of the Infernal Legion. This one allows your elephant to take damage, but while burning enemies equal to 25% of this maximum HP. Over 200,000 HP elephant is burning enemy millions of DPS per second. We have Mastered for more damage, and we have tons of minions. We also have Feeding Frenzy for more damage. Now during this time, it is optional to go with Swirling Flames because the magnitude of Ignite means more damage. So this is definitely one of the biggest multipliers for us as Ignite damage. Finally, this particular lineage gem is great if you can afford it. We also have a variant, which I'll show you guys over here. So where are we? I also have a variant from my friend who was playing this build on a budget 5 to 10 divine setup, which is also great. So what I want to show you guys is you don't have to have expensive support. We have a number of adjustments, including Ignite, which can give us even greater damage and also potential to do higher damage. So let's go through the current setup and talk to you guys about the budgeting of the setup. Now, the elephant itself can be captured with multiple modifiers, and there are special maps that guarantees the spawns of those rare elephants. The reason we're using those elephants is because of the maximum life. You can see even at rank 38, we have over 200,000 or 220,000 maximum life. So that said, there are some particular modifiers you want to capture the elephant with, and let's go through this part, then we go through the rest of the skill gems. In order to catch your elephant, oh gosh, it's a bit messy over here. So in order to catch your elephant, I'm recommending going with a Tame Beast with rank 21, which is corrupted for +1. Now, it is optional to get quality 23. It doesn't change that much because the quality itself, if you have a look over here, once elephant is tamed, it is 11% spirit reservation. It is for those players that want to main at max because elephant costs a lot of spirit, 56% of your spirit, so here is 11%. If you were to get 20% quality, it is 10% reduction to reservation. So if you look behind me again, I have prepared all the trait links that is related to this build. Currently, the Tame Beast with rank 21 is about 4 or 3 divine. Actually, this is a bargain. So now, if you were to go with 23%, it is not that much expensive. Oh, okay. It just got suddenly very expensive. It was 5 divine yesterday when I bought it. So back to 20. So I'm recommending going with 20%, and this one is 3 divine, definitely a bargain. Everyone else is selling for 4 divine. So pick up with 3 to 4 divine. The trick links will be available for you guys. You can go with lower quality, but you kind of don't want to. So once you have the quality of your Tame beasts, which I bought a few so I can tame a number of beasts. I was taming them non-stop for the past week, a ton of different beasts. So once you have your Tame Beast, what I recommend is to have enough dexterity. You can be finding dexterity simply on amulets with tons of stats like all stats, dexterity, dexterity. Having those amulets or having any stat gear will greatly enhance your chance of reaching the required dexterity, which is 157. And then you go for Taming Beast. So how would you tame your beast? Let's come over to a replay and I'll show you guys all the ways to min and max to tame your beast. Firstly, coming over to Atlas. Oh, this is not my Atlas. So coming over to Atlas, and then what we want to do is we want to be finding a particular map called this one. So this is called the Asmania Ranges. Asmania Ranges, yes, hopefully I pronounced correctly. There's a number of them that can spawn between the mountains and also the forest. This is the kind of region you're looking for. Now, if you are not able to find it, but you definitely want to find it, so I have purchased a number of grant projects so I can be leaping away from the towers and access to all the regions within the tower's radius. So you can see I looked everywhere that is close to the mountains, everywhere that's close to the mountains. You want to keep looking for tower that open up close to the mountains, and eventually you'll come to it. It will take you a few jumps usually, but you will come to it. And this is one of the maps that guarantees spawns of the elephant. So it's important to teach you how to catch the elephant, because if you don't get a good elephant, it's not as fun. It still works, by the way. So over here you can see once you come over here, you can insert a particular map. So I want to show you guys the map you want to insert. It is also quite important to know the maps, and yes, the trade filters will be available for you guys. And yes, during this time, I do want to give a shout out and also credits, which I forgot to say at the start. I did learn partially of this build from Path of Exile builds, and he is using a witch, I believe. I'm trying to use the Oracle, but some of the concept and also logic did come from him, and also my other friends who are playing the Oracle on the elephant build. So I did learn partially from them as well. So big shout outs for them, and also thank you for them for sharing the elephant setup. Now, in order to catch the elephant, yes, the trade links will be in the video below, guys. You want to have maps with rare monsters have one additional modifier. So this way your elephant is spawning for like 3 or even 4 or 5 modifiers that you really want to find increased area effect. 100% increased area effect means the elephant is burning down enemies double the range, and that's incredible. There are some bonuses you can find. For example, you can find a number of tier 1 auras, and you can find all damage shock, which will increase the damage enemy takes by 20%, and that is pretty good. Now, for those of you that is not familiar with what the Tame Beast Companion can roll, you can see here the primary modifiers and also secondary modifiers. These notes will be available for you guys. But during this time, we're not really looking for a primary modifier, we're looking for a secondary modifier that can roll quite often with area effect. Anything else is a bonus. I have Hindered Area over here to slow enemies, we have Burning Ground on Death, we have all damage shock, which is not bad. Ideally, you want increased area effect. All damage shock is great, extra fire damage, extra chaos damage is also great. So now that you know what you're looking for, you come over to this map. Don't worry too much about the tablets because we'll be resetting this map. And notice my tablets are red. So not recommending to invest in tablets even though they're cheap, because they don't get to be used. Because this map, once it's resetted, the tablets no longer have effect. Once joining the map, what you're really looking for is you want to be able to cast your Tame Beast before your minions kills the enemy. Now, over here we did find one. So now it is possible to use a second weapon swap. Now during this time, it is possible that you're running tier 14, tier 15 maps or tier 13 maps, which can be a little difficult. So this is what I kept my minions on. And during the timing of the beast, I kept the minimal minions so I don't one-shot the rare elephant. Have your Tame Beast ready to capture, and what we're doing is we're resetting this map each time I find a rare beast, and I'll be checking the modifiers. So here notice it has 4 modifiers, sometimes even 5 modifiers because of the extra modifier. You're looking for this is the one, not all damage. You're looking for increased area of effect. This is the bare minimum, I guess the acceptable range. Any elephant can work, to be honest, but having doubled the damage range to burn enemies is much welcome in the later stage of the game. So once I check the elephant, and once I check the elephant, that's not the right one. What I try to do is you can teleport out or you can relog out of the game, and then you reset the map. So try to not kill the elephant. And here I made the mistake of killing the elephant. I recommend not killing the elephant because that can actually affect how many elephant spawns in the future. Now, once you have reset the map, you teleport it out. you do want to come over here again to reset the map. You will be wasting a few of the maps over here, but that's acceptable. So I went through over 50 to 100 maps this way to find the right elephant. Again, I'm starting a new map and I'm running around to find my elephants. So over here, I do want to show you guys. Yes, I found another one. I'll show you guys over here. Using pulse game is actually quite good. So here, let's running around. Just be careful, you might die in those maps because running around might lead you to die. So you can pause the game to check for stats and also things. I think I paused a little bit. So over here, yes. See, this is a red elephant. I paused the game to show you guys a method of pausing the game will save you time. And also what I want to do is I want to pause the game on top of the reading the modifiers of the elephant. And again, this is not the one we wanted. Extra damage is nice. Ideally, we want extra fire and also extra chaos damage if we can. I'll explain why. So once you have the elephant, that's not the right one. Again, you can log out or you can teleport back. I decided to teleport back, but that's not the biggest deal. So you're gonna repeat this process, and I share you guys how I was taming elephants, and have a look over here. So here is one of those. So this is the one I found. So again, once you see the elephant you wanted, you want to cast 10 beasts, and then once 10 beasts is casted, you kill the elephant, capture the elephant, and then repeat the process. Ideally, extra damage is great, and also a little bonus is great. So I went a little further to capture more elephants, and that is the repeating of the process. It took me about 1 to 2 days to get somewhat acceptable rolls on the elephants. It might take you 5 minutes if you just get lucky with area of effect, but you can go further with additional damage. So that is how you capture the elephant. We spent a little more time to teach about this, and the replays will be at the end of the video to show you guys how the elephant was captured and also what not to do. So here I accidentally killed the elephant. What I could have done is I could have logged out of in character screen and then come back to hideout instead of killing the elephant, because it might mess up with killing the elephant. And of course, guys, we're not finishing this map. If you don't kill the final boss, you do not finish the map. And if you do not finish the map, you can repeat this map indefinitely. And again, I have a second backup. So look for the forest, look for the mountain. This is where you find it. Now, coming back to our build. Now, we did diverge a little bit, so coming properly to the gem socketing. Because we are Oracle, we also have ability like Moment of Vulnerability, which is also great for bonus damage, but it's not needed. Moment of Vulnerability over here, I have this link with Life Tap. Life Tap allows me to spin this spell as life, and then I can drink my unique potion and gain guard. This is a small trick I do, so permanently I have over 1000 guard, and that's 99% of the time, because I can cast Moment of Vulnerability on anything or anywhere and just drink the potion, have the guard, and that's all I wanted for. Anything else is a bonus. So Skeleton Warriors is great. Having the Rattling Scepter means additional Skeleton Warrior for bonus master damage. The Druid sockets for the rest of the minions are not that important. They rarely does anything because I have a bunch of supports and they don't do as much. The Skeleton Snipers are the same. They have a bunch of supporting abilities that really deals much. The biggest focus is the Elephant. So you want Infernal Legion, Swearing Flames, Mastered, and Feeding Frenzy is the basic setup. Now during this time you can have Magnify Area in replacement of Feeding Frenzy or Mastered, whichever one was giving you less damage. Because I was running about 7 or 8 minions, Master was giving me more damage compared to Feeding Frenzy. So in that sense, I can switch out of Feeding Frenzy to have increased area effect. During this time, for the budget setup, that if you guys do not have the Exile Spire, you can then come over here for the Ignite level 3, which can also boost your damage. If you're on the high elephant level, Mini Mastery is not bad. Dallas Desire is also good, but it's not needed for this build at all. I just had this one to go to rank 40 to see how much HP I can have with elephants. Again, rest of the minions are just supporting minions, so we don't have to look into too much, but we do have a curse. Elemental Weakness, it is only level 19, nothing special. We have increasing area, heightened curse, curse ground, so we can lay this before the boss, longer duration, and also efficiency for lower mana cost. Yeah, secondary weapon swaps, we have +5 to lightning spells and also +2 to all spells. So this way, this skill goes up to higher ranks for stronger curses. The Pen Offering, I rarely use Pen Offering as well, only 4 linked. So Pen Offering only level 19 as well. We have Sacrificial Offering, Dense Macabre, Minion Mastery, and also the Brutish Brain for Unkillable Offering. Not too special. We can have Prolonged Duration as well over here. And again, all the minions are supporting minions for bonus master damage. Now, the skeletons Storm Mages are important if you guys do not have, like me, with all damage shock. Because my elephant already shocks the enemies, the Storm Mages don't do that much. But if you don't have ways of shocking enemies, you can be shocking enemies with additional shock, with Feeding Frenzy, with rapid casting, with Mastered. Personally, I like to try with Stormfire because when enemies are shocked, they will also take 20% of the ignite damage as lightning and also as well as fire. So this is tons of damage if your Storm Mages can shock enemies. But funny part is my elephant is shocking with all damage, so they get shocked all the time, which is 20% increased damage on enemies' damage taken. Now, finally, Skeleton Cleric. I have the Cleric set up with numerous thefts, so when they die, I also gain some random modifiers. There's nothing too special. I have them set up with Sacrificial Lamb, and this is the only minion on skill 1. So keep in mind, my skill 1 is the curse setup, the skill 2 is the minion setup. So the Skeleton Cleric is here. So this means if I'm about to get to the boss, I'll cast my curses, I'll cast my Pen Offering, which will go through the skill rotations. I need to guarantee that we have minions to cast the Pen Offering. So this is why the Skeleton Cleric is set up on both minion swap. All the other minions is set up on only the weapon swap related to your actual summons. So what that means is the weapon swap that comes with the minion skill rank is the one you keep all your minions. And especially for the elephant. This way, the teleportation tag with the elephant means that you can be running around, you can be pressing, and elephant will just teleport to you. And yes, I did roll into a very cool cosmetics for free coming from the developers. They gave a free box, and this is why I'm having this form as I'm dashing around. So this is the tag we'll talk about. Now we talk about the skill links, let's come over to the gears. Now, again guys, you do not need those more expensive gears, but I want to min and max to show you guys what is possible. In the previous filters and also current filters, you can see cheaper gears. So a lot of the crucial items I talk about in this video will be available, including the maps, the skill gems, and also even higher skill gems, and also rare gems, which can be really good. Let's talk about the gears over here. The weapon itself, you want to get as high minion rank as you can. Here is centified to +5, and you want to get minion maximum life. This is centified to over 50%. This was cheaper at the time I was buying it, and again, you want the increased allies presence deals increased damage. Those are the three biggest part. You don't even have to have this increasing spirit. It is not as necessary because most of our spirit is used in percentage reservation anyways. So make sure you have +4 or +5 to minion skill ranks, increased damage, and also increased minion life. It's what you want to look for. As for the offhand focus, +2 to minion skill rank is okay. We're not a big fuss about getting high energy shield because we don't just survive on energy shield. We have mana over matter, we have new tech, which I'll show you guys, to overfill mana. You have life recovery, you have this potion that recovers life and gives you guard, which is very powerful. You can get +3 skill ranks on the helmet. This can also be crafted with the spirit reservation efficiency of skills and also socket with more efficiency. Because your elephant is taking so much spirit, in order to run all the minions and even more skeleton mages, which is, you probably don't need 3, you can have helmets like this. Again, I'm not a big fuss about energy shield because that just means more mana. For the chest piece, I went for my old chest piece with tons of life, spirit, bonus spirit, and also the spirit reservation over here. Again, you can go for any chest piece, ideally with high energy shield or bonus mana means you have more survivability, and also tons of resist. For the amulet, it can be centified to +4, but I'm recommending go with +3 because it's much cheaper. Again, during the time before the great inflation hits, I was getting those items for about 50 to 60 divine, now these are a few hundred divines, so it is definitely not worth it. So let's have a look at the amulet I talk about. So the amulet +3 is about 4 divines even for the solar amulet, but if you go with a +4 for some spirit, it goes up to a few hundred divines. So again, Now the price is so expensive, I recommend just going with a +3 and whatever stats you're missing. You might be missing dexterity, keep that in mind, because you need a lot of dex. This is why I got for the amulet with dexterity. Now, minion deals increased damage when you hit recently. Again, one ability can hit enemies constantly is actually moments of vulnerability. So this is when Oracle comes handy with this ability with a free spell, because you want all the other sockets for minions for bonus master damage. For the gloves and also for the boots, nothing too special. I went for the 60% effect of socket items over here and also over here. So this means I can socket any resistance I'm missing like chaos, and also socket for bonus movement speed and also any resistance. And if I'm okay with resistance, I can even get maximum mana, means my mana over matter works wonderfully. For the belt, you get resistance and also any stat you're missing. So I'm missing strength, dexterity, intelligence. Remember guys, you can change. If you get strength, you can unperk your strength slots to get dexterity. Similarly, if you get your intelligence, you can unperk intelligence or refund it to get dexterity. So I needed all this so my supporting gem, which requires a lot of strength, can work, and I needed the dexterity and also intelligence to be over 157 over here. Charms, nothing too special. Anti-freeze, anti-stun, and also anti-bleeding. Mana potion is very standard, and this potion may be a bit of investment, but I find it that unless you're going with Chaos Invocation, this is the most defensive and also tanky potion for the summoners. You have so many ways of spending your life, like Pen Offering, then you cast a potion, you get free guard. And with Moment of Courage, with Life Tap, I spend this, I get free guard. And I consistently have free guard because we have about 3 charges of these potions. Instant life recovery is very powerful when you can spend a life and you use your mana and also guard as defensive capacities. Now, coming over to the passives. So as Oracle, we have Unseen Path and also allocation of skills within the range, and we have the anti-crit. We also have moments of vulnerability. So what is special about Oracle is that we get the Unseen Path for bonus minion damage, and we also get this one. This is very similar to the Ascension passive to the Lich, but not exactly the same. The Lich has Unholy Might, but here my minion have 30% of damage taken recuperates life, which means they actually regen a lot of life. Together with minion gains 20% of elemental damage as additional chaos damage, this means I have bonus chaos damage for my elephant. Now, we can reduce the enemy's chaos resistance with this particular passive, and we have enough minions to do a bit of weathering, and that makes bonus damage when enemies are weathered. And this 5% increased chaos damage taken can stack up. Enemies die so fast. This also gives us the hidden path, the path over here with bonus minion life, bonus minion resistance, and also a lot of bonus minion damage. Usually you wouldn't have this one if you're not Oracle. Now, for the rest of the setups, you want minions have increased area of effect everywhere you can, and I perk those out. Other than that, Mind over Matter means we can allocate over here for maximum energy shield. And here we want to get minion resistance as much as we can so that the elephant itself does not burn itself to death with 30% damage per second. 30% maximum life damage. So if you look at my resistance, you want to get your fire resist to as high as 80 plus maximum fire. Here we have 89% maximum fire resist. So this can be found over here for the maximum elemental resist 5%, and this can be found over here for a bit of regeneration, which is not bad for the elephant. And over here we have maximum life, over here we have maximum elemental, and over here we have maximum fire. So this is how you can give the elephant a lot of resistance so it doesn't die. Now, I like to perk over here, and this gives us a massive boost to elephant damage and also elephant life. It does cause a bit of spirit reservation, but that's not the biggest deal, especially when you have Druid sockets and also chess pieces with the reservation efficiency. If you're short on spirit, you can come over here for 4% more spirit. Here I also perked into all the minion life, and also the maximum fire resist over here is very welcome. Now, as we keep going, let me remove this one so it's a little easier. You can search for multiple tags. So you can search for minion life, you can search for minion damage, you can search for companion life or companion damage. Here we allocated this point, so as Oracle we can get all those points for free. And that's really powerful, right? We got a bit of movement speed, we got tons of life, revival, and this one is probably not needed. I can even unpack this one. Here we will be converting energy shield into mana with mind over matter, make us more defensive, and also we can have the allocation of the juice, which we'll talk about very soon. I perk this one just so we can get this point. This one will give us additional all attributes, which is pretty nice if you're short on the stats. So, in terms of the juice socketing, now, of course, there is an expensive variant, which is the one I'm currently running. During the time when I bought this setup, oh, this is actually quite cheap. This is 400, 400, and this is 100. Someone definitely sold this one for a little lower. And currently, it seems to be price fixed for a few hundred divine. So try to pick up for under 100 divine if you can. I picked up mine for about 85 divine at the time, which is a week ago when I first started the build. So if you cannot afford those more expensive, like +3s, it is also possible to go with the +4 over here. So okay, this is on demand as well. So if you look at +2, it is about 85. So I recommend considering the +2, but ideally you do want the +3 over here if you can. And okay, the 100 is gone. So it's about 420 divines. Now, alternatively, this is a much cheaper option and it still works. You can get a bunch of those rare juice. Those will provide you with 20% damage, 20% maximum life to companions, and they sell about 1 to 2 divine at the moment. And there's a few on the market, some cheaper ones. You can say 1 divine, 2 divine, and you can try to get 20% minion life, 20% damage, and this adds up quite a bit. So you don't have to go with those, and you can see during the testing, I actually got a number of those to test it out, and it works wonderfully. So if you do not have the resource to get the +3 companions, don't be too worried, because you can be getting those much cheaper for the companion life and also companion damage. You can see one over here, and there's one over here for companion life and damage, and there's one over here for that. You can get more as well if you path into more juice sockets, but I didn't feel the need for it. I had so much more minion perks over here. Now, here I do want to recommending consider for nothing diamond. A lot of people want to go for nothing over here with the talisman, so you can get the points here for free. But I didn't really need that because I path here with just costing me 1 extra point. I wanted all the points over here anyways, so I didn't need to allocate this one for free. What I did over here is I allocated Oasis. So both Oasis and also the Crimson Assault will work. Let me show you guys over here. I have the trade filters ready for you guys. Crimson Oasis is over here, and also Crimson Assault is over here. What we're getting is we're getting minion maximum life, minion damage, minion life, and also minion life. So there's some really nice points that you can be getting over here, and this is also nice with minion life and minion damage. So you can be getting Oasis, or you can be getting the Crimson Assault. Now, coming over to the filters, I'll show you guys over here if we can find that. Yeah, here it is. So the filters will be available. This is about 10 exalt, they're very cheap, and this is about 25 exalt. So I bought both to test, nothing too fancy between the two. I think the Fun Nothing for Crimson Assault may be a little easier. Both of them will miss 2. So keep in mind, both of them will miss 2 of the knots. This one missed 2 of them, and this one will miss 2 of the knots. So it's nothing too fancy, but that's okay. I think maybe the Crimson Assault is a little better. I'll check. So I actually have both of them. Now, during this time, if you're going with the passives and instead of going for this Jew, my defensive setup, so look at my current mana, which is 2500. If I put in a Cockroach Timeless Jew, this particular knot now is translated into maximal mana overflows, and you just watch my mana flows up. And yes, I just saw the item over here, and this is why the additional divines, as you can see. So over here you can see the maximum mana is going to flow to close to 4,000 mana, and with mana mind over matter, this is actually a very powerful defensive effective HP. Now over here, a small tag, I'm not sure if this is actually working out, this is just something fun. So if I take the G off, I still retain the maximum mana, and if I cast spells, and if I cast more spells, and let me drink the potion and show you guys over here. If I cast spells and I drink my guard, so the guard protects the mana, I keep the maximum mana overflow unless I use the mana. So if you want to start the map with a little bonus mana and defensively, you're just avoiding casting spells that cost mana and casting moments of vulnerability that causes life and keep up the guard, you keep up the mana too. It's a mini tech I have over here, but you don't need to max that. So the cargo drill will give you defensive capacities, while here means more damage for the minions. I think that covers most of the passives, and now let's come over to some skill rotations and also combos. So the build uses a weapon swap setup. So what you do is, I only have Skeleton Cleric on the other weapon, which is not the damaging weapon, and no minions available. So when I summon and also resummon, this allows the minions to be right next to me. See? And this means minions, they don't even have to move fast, they just be teleport next to me as you swap between using the weapon swap key, which is X on the computer. And that is pretty much the tag. Against majority of the enemies, if you just press your pen offerings, your minion deals bonus damage. The bonus attack speed is not a big deal. And finally, against bosses, you just put down the curses, cast your pen offering, and you're topped up. And during this time, make sure you drink a potion, and this will give you maximum guard. Because your pen offering also costs life, and when you spend life, you'll be able to get maximum guard. And that is pretty much for the skill rotation. So let's go with an demonstration for tier 15 maps, and again, it is very smooth gameplay. Tier 15, tier 16 maps, I'm literally running, rolling around, and using the resummon of minions, everything melts. It is incredible, guys. If you haven't tried the Righteous Fire setup in PoE 1, this is very similar to that, but except in the ways of scaling with minion life instead of your own life and also your own defensive capacities. But we are still very tanky. You can see 90% of the time I don't take damage at all. My guard is enough to protect me. And we're just mowing down through enemies. Everything dies. It is hilarious that just watching enemies melting away. So, against the boss, and that is the boss. This is not a damaging setup, this is more a map clear setup against the boss. So, what I do is, I have multiple recordings. Make sure you go through the recordings. So the first recording is to teach you guys how to capture the elephant. And to follow from this, I did a tier 15 testing round, tier 16 testing round. I did the highest Uber boss with bridge testing rounds. I just shared two of them so the video is not too long. And you got to see everything that's related. And at the final part of the video, if you want to skip to see what items I was using, everything related to the game, it will be available over here as well. And before I finish, I also had questions about what are the bonus stats I was getting for my character. So if you're missing resistance, getting 5% all resist coming from the worshipping of the altar is good. And also getting bonus resistance or bonus +5 attributes as you go through Act 4 is also good. I also went for mana regeneration because I'm Mind Over Matter, and that is the bonus quest coming from Act 3 with the Venom. And that is pretty much for the build. Let me know what you guys think, and I do plan to make a max elephant to even stronger. Give you guys a sneak teaser, so my future plan is to use this particular unique Druid. So this means we can have 2 companions. And this means I have a number of companions prepared. And I'm pretty excited for that. I'll see you guys in the future videos. And I do plan to test a bunch of rings, I do plan to test different skill setups, and a lot of combination over here. Now, hopefully you guys found today's video helpful. Again, a big thank you to everyone on YouTube, especially our supporters, and also those of you guys who's been supporting me on Patreon as well. And we do have a new feature on the Majestic YouTube channel. If you click onto this, you can become a member. Yes, I've added this just recently, and this will allow you to have early access to videos that is posted a few hours or even half a day earlier if you want to watch those videos a little early. But yes, this will cost money. So please be aware the membership will cost money. And if you do want to watch videos normally, those videos will still be available after 6 to 12 hours, normally on the time we post those videos. And I'll be aiming to post at least one Path of Exile video a day. And this will be including guides, tips, news update, and also the latest tricks that is discovered on both the English and also Chinese community to keep you guys updated. And if you like those videos, make sure you leave a nice comment and also leave a like for those videos.
bog keeps coughing him up! Out of mana! Balance restored! Begone, foul creature! Not bad for a wanderer. proud creature!
We that dreamed, we in nightmare, we that are one. The red fire blooms, she of strife, we that fail.
Now before we finish, if you guys haven't subscribed, this is a really good time to do so because I'll be looking into the latest Path of Exile 2 news on different communities and also on our official forum, official webpage. I'll also be looking into the best build for each of the class as the meta develops with the Chinese and also the English community. So stay tuned for the latest update and also guides for Path of Exile 2. And of course, this is gonna be a big month for us. And I'll try to bring you guys all of the latest content and also guides for Path of Exile 2 to come.